I want to throw something out that now might be a little bit like counterintuitive, and that actually is that growing 10x is actually easier than growing 2x. Now, if you think like, how in the world is that going to happen? Well, let me explain to this. So when you grow 10x, and actually I want to expand on that. I want to even another provocative thing out there and says like, how about if I tell you that when you grow 10x properly, you work less, you have less stress, you have more control, you have more free time, you make more money, and you have a bigger impact on the world around you. Now who would like to grow 10x, right? Because what we think, what most people think, so I'll start with our story and then I'll jump into that just quickly. And I'm actually going to walk you through that by the example of the struggles and the story that we have gone through. And with we, I mean myself, Jack Bosch, originally from Germany, my wife, Michelle Bosch, from Honduras, who's actually sitting in the back there. Give a little wave. There we go. And we're business partners. We're best friends. We're also husband and wife. And we've built multiple 7- and 8-figure businesses together. So, and now we're also co-founders of the Ultimate Boardroom, a business coaching mastermind. Now, here's the thing. We're immigrants to the U.S. from our respective countries. We came into the U.S. with literally nothing, like 2 suitcases, bunch of student debt, and a dream, attended business schools here, got a job, and in order to get the permanent residency in the U.S., went through all of that, and then we started our entrepreneurial journey. So we started a real estate investing company focusing on flipping cheap land in the outskirts of town. Right? So cheap land. Anyone else in real estate here in the room? Can we quickly see? All right, there's a few hands. Great. So we did 60 deals in our first year, and that was great. But then we realized, okay, that's the most we could handle, just being her and I working full time. We couldn't handle more based on complexity. Then we figured, okay, we got to hire some people. So we hired a couple of people, and then we did 100+ deals in the second year, like 120 or so deals in the second year. So we're excited, but at the same time, the way we were selling them on eBay. Now, no, that's weird, but we're selling land on eBay and through classified ads and through little ads in the newspaper and things like that. So we're selling them one-on-one, and we hit a ceiling. So we hit a ceiling of what we could do. Whatever we tried doing, we couldn't grow any further because the problem, we worked harder than ever. We literally worked 6.5 days a week, 12 hours a day, and we were exhausted and literally kind of like against the wall. We were like, oh my God, this is like every day. It was like every week was like Groundhog Week. We just like got up, worked. Our people, we actually had our office set up in our living room. The 2 employees would come up, see us sitting in the desk. They would leave. The next morning they would only see us sitting at the desk. And then we're exhausted against the wall. And we realized that if we wanted to grow further, again, that working harder wouldn't do it. I mean, we couldn't stretch any more than that. Now, if that resonates with you, then you probably know where we were at that point. So we needed to make a decision. So one day at 9:30 in a local brewery over beers and nachos, we were sitting down like around 9:30, like half an hour after we stopped working. So we sat together and we basically said, like, you know, what are we going to do? Are we going to shrink back to comfort, which is what a lot of businesses in that situation do? They're like, you know, screw it. We can't handle this. We don't know how to handle employees. We don't know. They never do what we want them to do. They don't do the right thing and so on. Or, and basically, are we going to let those 2 guys go and just do deals our own, make decent money and work when we want to, and basically create a true lifestyle business? Or are we going to challenge ourselves, right? Are we going to go big? Are we going to impact the world? Are we going to really live up to our potential as people or as managers? And in that case, basically, we realized that we needed to grow as leaders, build an enterprise that attracts the right talents, figure out how to grow 10x, and figure out what was holding us back from growing 10x, because we didn't even know what was holding us back. We just knew that what we were doing, the way we were doing, wasn't really working. Right? So we realized that growth is uncomfortable in that moment. We realized also that growth actually can be painful. Not just uncomfortable, painful, and requires courage. And as I said, we had no idea where to even start. We were literally like, crap, this stuff doesn't work. I mean, it works, we're making money, but we're not enjoying it anymore. We're working ourselves to death. This is not how we thought entrepreneurship would be, right? Everyone starts entrepreneurship because they want to start a company because they think they want to have more freedom. Well, as I think Tony Robbins said, starting a business to have more freedom initially is like having a baby to have more free time, right? And it's really not necessarily what happens at the beginning. And I understand it because at the beginning you're in the hustle time. So we did decide to grow big, and what we found out literally that again is that growing 10x is faster, is easier than growing 2x.